So I've made it pretty decent in the process. Got everything cut except for the pocket that's going to go with this wrap. And I haven't done the straps. The straps and pockets are not done because I'm still unsure how I want to do them or whether or not I want to do them. The panel that I decided to use is the back is a yellow color. Sorry, it's a little bright. But I had to lengthen it. I used part of the towel that I had cut off, which was the very top part. I cut it off to add additional. I will have to go ahead and run 2 stitches on the side to lay it flat, because after time I think I will be annoyed by it, by my leg brushing across it or whatever else. The other thing that I figured out is that it's not going to be as long as I want it to be. I really wanted it to definitely hit my knees, but the amount of addition that I added wasn't enough to take it to where I need to be. So I will have to cut some excess off of both the other 2 pieces. It's not a problem. So I'm going to get ready to sew this down. I have to have the 2 front pieces bound first before I can actually attach it to the back piece, because the part that's underneath the arm is covered by the fold down that I'm going to do. I'm going to do a fold down. I'm going to put a piece of elastic. I think I only use, it suggested 16 inches on the first one for the extra large. I am so much smaller on top. I wear a size 18, just giving context. 18 on top and a good 24 on bottom, just depending on what it is. But since I'm that small on top, this is an extra large 2X or something, and it's just too big. So I am going to do about a 12-inch elastic, and it'll give me the cinch I want without being too tight. You know what? Let me just do this, okay? What I will say is, this is messy. I am going to have to sweep this room. Okay. So, there's a couple things I may do differently, but I don't know yet. I don't have the straps yet because I think I'm going to actually end up using the towel as the backing and just bind or do some the same way I finished off this. I can't even talk straight. I'm going to maybe finish off the straps, make them much wider, and do it the same way. It's fine. And I'm going to probably stretch it a little bit so it scrunches up a little bit, almost feeling like I am putting elastic in it, but I'm not. We'll see. That'll be a process. Something I don't have totally planned in my head. It's not a definite decision. Anyway, so I am actually to the point where I need to put the elastic in the back. So what I did was I went on and finished off the edges are finished off. And I'm going to actually try to tuck. I'm going to go with a smaller elastic than what it says, which is fine. I may have to do it a little differently as far as closing it off. But I plan to use an inch. I think it's an inch. I think it calls for 1.5 inches or something like that. So we're going to have to do some, finagling, because I did put this a little bit closer to the top than I was supposed to. I think I didn't mark it. That's why. Okay, it happens. I am still going to do a smaller elastic. I'll just take the elastic and literally sew it in place right here. Sorry, it's right. Let me see if this. Yeah. No. No. I don't want you to have to struggle to see. Okay. So, good. This is better. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sew the elastic right here and I'm going to make sure I have it turned this way when I sew it, so it won't have to go over the hump or anything. But I'm going to sew it in place and then take this, move it down across it. Now, it may catch it at the very beginning, like the first 1.5 inches maybe, but after that, it should be just free flowing inside the casing. That's my goal. That's my plan. But we'll see how that happens or see how that works. I gotta do that, and then I have to attach the straps. Before I actually do the sewing this down, I'm gonna actually attach the straps to this portion. You did see that I ended up doing this dart a little bit bigger. I almost forgot in the process of doing this. My original one that I did, it still lifted up too much. And it really is not that big of an issue, but it was going to get on my nerves. So I decided to take the dart down a little bit more. It was not going to hurt to do that. That's not a big change. I did go ahead and shorten it. And because I had to shorten it to match the yellow, I am deciding that I'm going to actually bind the bottom of it. That'll finish it off and I don't have to touch it no more.
Room got around like a what time are you going over to the school? Get to my, oh, I'm gonna do that next week. I said, sir, why? I said, why didn't you tell me? Because I got up at like 5:30, showered, all of that stuff, got my daughter off to school, recorded my video, got it edited, and I'm waiting for him. Like, and he talking about something, I kind of helped you out because you was moving real fast today. I said, I guess, but at the same time, I could have slept in a little longer. Well, couldn't have slept in that much longer because I had to take my daughter to school anyway. Which, by the way, I told her she would get on the bus.
All right, so we are at tester stage, fit stage, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna tell you I did make a mistake. I think I did. I think it's livable, but not necessarily the way I wanted it. Fit stage because I got to get the straps on. All right, it's gonna be good. It's gonna get one. I did want to put I wasn't paying attention. I wanted the straps to be opposite. I didn't want it to be the same color. I wanted this color over here and this color over here. But it's not a big issue. It actually still looks cute. The one thing I have opted to change on here, it suggests Velcro. No ma'am, no sir, no how. Not, and I'm probably gonna take the one off the other one. Hold on. See if I can find it. Where did I put it? Yeah. All right. So I'm not gonna do the Velcro. One is a towel. So what will what will stick to the towel? The Velcro. What has happened already with the other one? The Velcro sticks. So I'm gonna actually do snaps. I have these snaps. They're clear. They're pretty big. I don't want to drop. I have snaps. So I am gonna put snaps on here. As long as I get maybe a snap here and maybe one here. I don't necessarily need to go all the way down, but I need one here, here, and then put another one like at the end of this one so that it'll stay up and not sag, but stay up. So snap here on the inside and here at the corner or the curve, whatever it is, and then maybe a snap right going across where my hip would be. I was going to do more and I thought about it. I don't need that many snaps. I think I did give myself a little bit too much room on the sides. I wanted to make sure it fit. So that in itself is the one thing. So, but for the most part, I am not going to complain. It fits. I think I'm just feeling awkward because I think one strap is shorter than the, no, I think they're the same height, but maybe it's where it's sitting at or something. No, I pinned them in the right spot. I don't know what it is. It feels weird. The elastic in the back is good. I like that it's in the right spot. So for the try on, we're going in a good direction. Okay. Alrighty then, y'all. I am pretty much done. So we're gonna call it good because it's just snaps I gotta do. So I have completed the wrap minus the snaps. I'm still debating whether or not I'm gonna change that part. But for the most part, I'm happy. It is shorter than I would like it to be, but it's not actually short. It actually comes just above my knees. Um, I will probably take a few pictures. I'll have to, do a swimsuit or something, or biker shorts or something underneath it, and I'll do a good picture. And I may show you the difference between the two. I am not going to put a pocket on here because I don't feel like it. The one thing I do like the change of already putting it on is I like the shoulder straps better. They are, well, I kind of like them both. The other ones are a little bit thinner. These are a little bit wider. I probably would do this at 2 inches versus 2.5 because I don't lose any width by the way I bound it. So you're not losing width. So whatever width you make your actual, if you use towel, whatever width you make the straps is going to be the width of the straps. It's not going to change if you bind it. And that's what I did. I didn't think about that, but it's fine. What else? I do have a part that I don't like that I'm going to have to fix, and that's something. I'm a hand sew it. So right here, it's bulky, so that's probably part of the reason it's bulky there. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of tucking in, and just I'm gonna hand sew it, and it'll be flat as it's gonna be. I think it happened on both ends, look different both on both sides. I don't like that jet out, but it is just a towel. If I really am annoyed about it, I can always take it out. Am I? Probably not, being honest. Like I said, I'm gonna try the snaps, and I'm hoping the snaps do what I need to do because I really don't. It kind of leaves me in a position of what's the next option, and kind of the what's the next option is buttons. I will have to do I believe it would be called bound. If the snaps don't work, it will be a bound button, and I would take this fabric, interface it, and bind a buttonhole. As long as I get one here, and just gonna still do a snap underneath. For the other side, that's probably what I'll do. I'm not stressed about that though. I do like how it's gonna be. I'm gonna run these through the wash because it's got strings everywhere. But I will run them through the wash. Like I said, I do like where the elastic is, or how wide the elastic is on here. I do hate that I had to do the extension piece on the very bottom side, but I knew that I didn't want to use the other towel that I had was way too thick, and it would have been almost impossible to do. So adding, you may not be able to see it, it's just a seam right there. I will probably come through and take like a brush or something to kind of fluff that area up, so it's not, you don't necessarily really see the seams, and it's not as noticeable, but when you rub across it and kind of release the pile, it looks even better. So I'll go through and release the pile on that. What else? Actually, nothing at all. I'm pretty pleased with it. I am pretty pleased with it. I'm glad I was able to get it done, even with all the distractions in my room. So the next thing I'm going to work on is getting all the stuff off the floor, but do these 2 alterations I got to do. So I'm probably going to do the alteration first, so that when my person come by, they can try it on. But I ain't going to pull nothing out until I get all this fluff that's happening in my room. I'm going to take the scraps of towel. I'm not going to get rid of them But I'm gonna put them in the bag because, as you can tell, I'm coughing, and it's probably because of the fluff. So I'm gonna get those in a bag and tied up. All right. But if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. What I do here is I play with fabric, any kind of fabric. Most of the time I do things for plus size chicks, but you just may see anything over here when it comes to fabric and so on. So I'm gonna go ahead and catch y'all later. I'll see y'all later after a while. Crack her down and deuces.